Hey, how's it going, everybody? This is Zach. I'm your youth pastor. I'm here joined by our camp nurse, Katie Martin. How's it going,
Hey,
Katie?
good. How are you?
Good. Glad to have you. We wanted to take an opportunity, Katie, to kind of brush everybody up on all of our precautions and policies and procedures for camp as it relates to COVID-19.
Yeah.
We're leaving Alachua County, a place that has a little over 200 cases, confirmed cases of COVID-19, and we're going to Polk County, Tennessee, where our camp is located. And so far, they've only got 5 cases, and many people have already recovered. So that's a good thing. But even still, people have reasonable concerns. So why don't I let you kind of introduce yourself and tell everybody a little bit about yourself and your nursing experience, and then we'll get into some of those policies and procedures.
Okay, great. So, yeah, I'm Katie. I went to nursing school at UF. I graduated in, was it 2017, and I have worked as a school nurse since then. So, if anybody's concerned, I'm not coming from the hospital to go to camp. I work at an elementary school in Lake City. And so we've been out of school since March. So I have not been exposed to COVID units and stuff like that you'd have at the hospital.
We kind of have a list of some of the precautions, but we wanted to talk through some of those with all of our parents and anybody who's, a little bit on the fence or a little bit curious as how we're going to be keeping people safe at camp. And that is our number one priority. I think, Katie, you'd probably agree with this, that if we thought we were genuinely putting our students at a high risk of infection or spreading the disease, and we wouldn't be going to camp. Even still, there's a list of things that we've kind of put in place. The first thing that we're going to ask all of those students and family members attending, Katie, is to take a look at the CDC checklist, and we'll have that available on our website. But why don't you tell everybody just a little bit about that?
So yeah, at check-in, we will be asking students just a simple questionnaire of like, have you had a fever in the last 14 days? Have you traveled anywhere recently that might be a highly impacted area by coronavirus, like talking about places like New York or states that have had really high cases. Also asking if they've had any symptoms like flu-like symptoms recently, which would include a cough, shortness of breath, gastrointestinal upset, things like that would be flu-like. And then also asking if they've had exposure to anybody who has been confirmed to have the coronavirus. So like a family member, somebody like that, we're going to ask if your answer is yes to some of those, that we ask that we would say probably not best for you to come to camp.
Right. And nobody wants to be the bad guy. Nobody wants to be like, you're not allowed. And it's not like we're going to be out there, with yellow tape and stiff arming people and, waving people with, wands, like you're trying to get into an airport or even worse, a jail or prison. That's not the environment that we're going to create, but we do need to ask those kind of questions. Another thing that we're going to do at check-in is we're going to take everybody's temperature with one of those no-touch thermometers just to see if anybody has any fevers. And of course, we know that a lot of people, they don't exhibit any symptoms, even if they have coronavirus. And sometimes it takes, is it 2 weeks?
It can be, up to 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Just double checking with the expert for any symptoms to occur. So we know, and we're admitting that that's not a foolproof plan. And obviously those kind of things can still take place, but we wanted to put those measures in place even still to be safe. A lot of people are probably wondering, are we going to have to wear masks at camp? Is that going to be mandatory? Is it going to be encouraged even? And you and I have talked about that. Why don't you tell everybody just a little bit about what we decided?
So with wearing masks, one thing that would be hard is that we're going to be outside a lot with the different activities that we have listed. There's a lot of water activities, running around playing paintball, those type of things. It's not really going to work to wear masks while doing those things, especially if their mask gets wet, like it's not going to be effective anymore. And with running around outside, you have to have a very specific type of material to wear. So it's not really we're not going to be able to wear them when we eat. Since we're not going to be able to wear them all the time, it doesn't really make sense to require them, because once we've not worn them, it kind of doesn't make sense to then wear them part of the time. If somebody does want to wear a mask, like if it makes somebody more comfortable to wear one, then they can wear one.
Katie, I know a lot of times guys and girls, maybe girls more than guys, wear each other's clothes. They like to, borrow each other's toothpaste and things like that. Are there any extra precautions that people ought to take this
Yeah,
year.
and I would just say for parents, like if you could just encourage your students not to be sharing those personal items and clothing. I know that that is a fun thing they like to do at camp, and I feel bad making these like, you can't do this, can't do that, but I think it's more of a common sense thing considering what we're dealing with right now. It's probably just best if we're not sharing those personal items, makeup, clothing, keeping
Deodorant.
our stuff, keeping everything separate. So.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have some big pump hand sanitizers. Sorry, I can't talk. At areas like when we go to eat, places like that, we'll have them set up, and we'll encourage the kids. Hey, before you get in line to go eat, go ahead and use that hand sanitizer. And that way, before we go into those areas where we'll all be together, sitting and eating, we'll have already done the hand washing part. We'll also ask that students bring a small hand sanitizer in their stuff. That'll be sort of part of our packing list. And that way, wherever they are, they're going to have that little one. And so whatever we end up doing, they'll be able to use that hand sanitizer.
Right. Because we're going to be going from the paintball course to the basketball court to whitewater rafting to the worship center. We're going to be all over the place. And I think, having a little bottle like that will be really important. And we've actually updated our packing list since we initially launched our camp website. So if you take a look at that packing list now, you'll see that, like Katie said, a small bottle of hand sanitizer is on that packing list. Well, last year we kind of introduced a little bit of a friendly competition of cleanest cabin. And you remember that.
Yeah.
Did your cabin by any chance win? Did your dorm or any of your girls win?
I don't remember. I don't think so.
I'm pretty sure it was girls, but I don't remember
It
who
was
it was.
girls, I think. Yeah. I don't
Yeah.
remember.
Well, anyways, that is going to be something we do again this year, but it's going to have an added bonus because students are scored on how clean their room is and then kind of compete for free pizza at the end of the week. But it is actually going to be required that everybody use the disinfecting wipes to wipe down their sleeping area and their bathrooms on a daily basis. So we're going to keep those areas nice and clean. And we want that anyways, even if there wasn't, some small risk of coronavirus. Camp can lend itself to some interesting smells. And so, we want to make sure that everything stays clean. So we're going to have hand sanitizer in everybody's hands. We're going to have it at the dining area, but we're also going to disinfect our entire sleeping area and dorms, and that's going to be great. And Katie, I know you were asking me earlier, are any of our students going to be sleeping like in the same bed? And that sounds kind of weird to even have to ask, but we've been to some places in the past where there was like a queen size bed that two campers would share. And this year, everybody's going to have their own bunk bed. So you're not going to be like, right next to somebody.
Which is definitely an added benefit.
Yeah, definitely for what we're going through right now. We're also going to be picking up Chick-fil-A on the way to our camp location rather than stopping at, a food court at a mall like we've done in years past. And that was kind of neat because people had different choices, but we don't know that it's the best idea to get out and go to, 6 different restaurants with that many people with what's been going on. And I'm not even sure that those places will necessarily want a group our size to come in. So it'll be a little bit simpler to just, call ahead to a Chick-fil-A on the way. They'll have a big catering order ready for us and we'll pick that up so it's nice and fresh. Katie, I don't know if I told you this before. The really good news is we're going to be the only group at this camp.
I did hear you say that.
Yeah, it's just going to be us and, the camp staff that facilitates the camp, of course. But we're not going to have, another group coming from Alabama and another group coming from Texas with who knows what they've been in contact with. And the camp is really very secluded from any other, metropolitan areas or, populated areas. So, we'll have the camp peak just to ourselves. I think the last part that we wanted to share with everybody as far as, our policies and protocols, it's a little bit tough love. It could come across the wrong way. I really hope that it doesn't. But if we get to camp and anybody is, showing some symptoms of COVID-19, they're running a high fever, certainly if they're short of breath, we're going to have to ask that parents come and pick that student up. And we, never want to send anyone away. And really, we've never had a serious issue with anybody showing any kind of, symptoms at camp, except maybe a sunburn from time to time. But in the odd, very, very slim chance that somebody comes down with a serious fever, we'll even probably be able to admit right then and there, it's probably not coronavirus, but to be safe, we'll isolate that student, and you know, we're not going to lock them in a closet or anything like that, but we
Right.
will isolate them where they're not, you know, around other students, and we'll
Mhm.
ask for parents to come and pick them up. So that'll be our policy and our procedure. Katie, am I missing anything? It's very
I
possible
think
that I
that's
forgot something.
about it. We just wanted everybody to know what to expect when they come, so that it's not
Yeah.
like an unknown about what
Right.
we're
And
doing.
I think sometimes people, you know, assume that we've got these kind of policies, but also sometimes they might be assuming that we're not doing anything. So
Right.
I think it's
Right.
helpful to have this information out there. If you're watching this video on our parent Facebook page or somewhere else, please do let us know in the comments if you have any other questions, or you
Yeah.
can send us a direct message. And Katie, thanks so much for joining us. We're looking forward to a great week at camp.
Yeah, I'm excited. It's gonna be good.
All right. See you guys later.